Hello, Aluxers, welcome back. Many of you think all rich people are the same, but that isn't quite true. In our experience, we've bumped into plenty of different types, and today we're going through that list. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Here are 15 types of rich people. Number 1. Just got rich. These aren't even new money, they're all of a sudden fresh money. These people were not expecting to get rich this soon. They simply rode a wave, made a killing in an emerging industry, and most of the time have a problem dealing with it because they didn't have enough time to mature their financial IQ. They got rich super fast, and sometimes at too young of an age, and it backfires. They usually hyper-flaunt their newfound wealth. They buy stupid and most likely will burn through it all fairly quickly. They live under the mantra of, "I'll just make more." You can call them out right away because they generally purchase only liabilities, like flashy cars, expensive clothes, and bags, but have no real investment portfolio to back up their lifestyle. They assume whatever made them money will always be there. Sooner or later, they either make a mistake and the pipe dries out, or the wave changes and they fail to adapt. That's when you're left in a house you can't afford, with 6 cars waiting to sell and a couch you paid $20,000 for on a dare. Number 2. Real estate rich. Most people who say they are real estate rich actually aren't rich yet. They technically will be in 30 years, but not right now. These are usually real estate agents with a bit more drive and desire to grow. They usually get money from their day job as a down payment for the next property. They constantly talk about cash flow, how they're gonna burr this new property, how they're forcing appreciation, and how they know someone who has over 100 properties already. Truth be told, these are usually some of the nicest people you'll come across. They're not flashy, they're super disciplined, and know that they're playing the long game. Most of them live below their means. They will eventually be rich when they manage to either sell or mature their portfolio of properties. Number 3. Trading and hedge funds rich. These are weird ones. They're all over the spectrum in terms of energy, hype, of Rockstar and Red Bull consumption, not to mention other substances that would get us demonetized. For the traders, they love to show you that one trade they made a while back where they made a killing and their 4-monitor setup filled with green and red lines. Day traders like to pretend that because they read the news, they understand how the global economy is fluctuating day by day. They're the baby brother of the hedge fund guys. Hedge fund rich means you're a lot better than every other day trader out there, and some big shot has hooked you into the company. Their yearly bonus makes them millionaires, but it's taking a toll on every aspect of your life. In our experience, people who work in hedge funds are stressed out the most. They work the longest hours and are constantly worrying about screwing everything up, thus artificially increasing their energy through chemicals and spending as much money as they can to keep feeling alive. But they have some insane stories to tell. Number 4. Royal family rich. They are the definition of old, prehistoric old money. You're probably expecting these people to be the epitome of douchiness, but you'd be mistaken. In our experience, they're some of the most well-mannered and reserved individuals out there. Although they enjoy unmatched levels of wealth, they constantly carry the burden of not embarrassing their family, and they're a lot more reserved. Unless you pay close attention, you might miss it that they come from that much money. The giveaway is usually the diplomatic limousine and the aide that follows them everywhere. Although they're constantly well-dressed, they don't draw attention to themselves. During our university years, we had the privilege of getting to know quite well someone from the United Arab Emirates royal family, and we can tell firsthand they're just normal people with almost perfect etiquette and a family name to carry around. Most of them enjoy the privilege but feel the need to break free, to party, and to make stupid decisions, but most of them choose not to. Number 5. Tech rich. We love the techies. We always clicked with them well because we're in tech ourselves. These are usually geeks, introverts with a unique sense of humor, almost always terrible fashion sense, but almost always with great intentions and even greater intellect. They usually got rich by developing an idea with a few friends and it blew up. The money came from investors that valued their company in the millions, or if they were successful with a product, from selling said company. They love gadgets, they don't blow through money, and their mind is always buzzing. After a big exit, they usually seclude themselves for a while until they start working on the next idea. For tech people, it's the puzzle of business that they find most alluring and figuring out if they can solve it. And something we noticed, they take their privacy and online security super seriously. They always pay extra for super secure modems, laptop cameras are covered with a band-aid, and all of their crypto is in cold storage, and they don't log onto the internet without a VPN activated. None of their online activity gets tracked, and they're willing to pay for it. If you're ready to take your online privacy seriously, go to Alux.com/VPN. We reached out to NordVPN, the company we personally use for VPN services, and they agreed to help our community, and they stepped up. You're getting 70% off a 3-year plan and an extra month for free. Basically, you pay a fraction of the cost of what most people pay for their online security, and you're set for the next 3 years. Go to Alux.com/VPN and protect yourself online. Number 6. Save the world philanthropic rich. These are usually entrepreneurs who had a great idea, it blew up, they sold it, and now they're pursuing their true passion of doing good. Or they come from older money and have no interest in going into the family business. They travel the world, meet people, raise funds, and oversee projects meant to help aid those in need or preserve valuable parts of the world. They are experts in social courtesy and love to use their connections to push projects even further. Because of their efforts, people, communities, species, or pieces of art found their way into the light. Just take a look at what Akon is doing in Africa, what Amal Clooney is fighting for, and what Bill and Melinda Gates have done to cure the world. Number 7. Celebrity rich. This includes TV, movies, entertainers, athletes, and so on. Celebrity rich people are usually first-generation money. They got big with a single project and are struggling to hold on to said fame because their incredibly expensive lifestyle requires it. Most people don't like to see frugal celebrities. They want them to be aspirational, to always look beautiful and opulent, and this has been a major downfall for most of them. The cost of fame is too great, and most celebrity richness is swept up in a whirlwind of expenses, yes men, and spotlights. The more stable ones aren't as arrogant as people think. Their time is just really expensive, and we can see why most people would find them hard to connect to. What you need to understand is most of them are running against a clock. Fame can be gone as quickly as it showed up, and they have to take this opportunity to make sure it lasts. Number 8. Daddy money, trust fund rich. These are the children of everyone we're covering on this list. The parents sacrificed a lot coming up, and the results are an incredible life. Their kids don't have to worry about money, every basic expense is covered, and you're not lacking anything else. Because their parents are still running the family business, the children usually feel disconnected. Parenting suffers when you have to put every hour into building and maintaining an empire. In our experience, trust fund kids are split into 2 very distinct groups. One is an incredibly obnoxious, entitled prick who believes everything should be delivered to them on a plate because this has been their experience in life so far. The second group is a lot more laid back and deeply appreciative of the struggles parents went through. They see themselves as responsible to take their parents' efforts and pick up the torch and finally allow them to rest. Hey Luxers, we hope all of your children will fall into the second category. Number 9. Don't ask questions rich. These are people who can't explain their wealth, at least not in a way that wouldn't incriminate them. They made their money in shady ways, many times crossing the line into illegal territory. They've never built a company, they didn't go public, they don't have a paper trail of any of their riches. These are just there and have grown over the past decades. Some might have even done jail time, or the more often only got convicted but their case was dropped. In the more recent years, they began cleaning up their image. They took their dark money and began investing it in legit businesses. They're cleaning up their reputations as well. You see many of them on the cover of your favorite financial magazine, and although rumors are still flying around, they make an effort to distance themselves personally from anything that could damage them. These people understand better than anyone else just how corrupt and fragile the world really is. Number 10. Serial entrepreneur rich. These people are extremely passionate about business. They love the challenge of building one after another. They usually spend a couple of years developing a business, then they either withdraw themselves from the company or make an exit in order to start and grow another one. Their attention span is tiny. They're always in a hurry and it feels like they're juggling too many things, but that pressure is where they thrive. Some of our best friends are serial entrepreneurs, and they're always excited to tell you about the new investment they've made and the last success they had. In our experience, they're fairly young, and when we say fairly, we mean between 30s and 50s. They're chasing the next wave just like a surfer does, constantly pushed by the fear of not solving the upcoming puzzle. Number 11. Can't tell rich. These are people you'd never be able to tell are wealthy. They live in the same house, drive the same mid-range car, don't sport a flashy watch. As a matter of fact, they're the exact opposite of the just got rich type. They accrued their wealth through smart, stable investments throughout their lives. They lived below their means and spoil themselves only by purchasing quality products. They rarely care about how big the logo is. They could be your next-door neighbor and you wouldn't even be able to tell, because their bank account isn't reflected by their lifestyle the way you would think it would reflect on yours. Out of everyone on this list, these are usually the happiest of the bunch. Number 12. All-in rich, sometimes known as poker rich or lucky rich. These are people who go all in on one play and it works out for them. We know plenty of actual poker players who've amassed a small fortune from this one skill, but this genre doesn't partake to them exclusively. It covers everyone who's looking for low-effort, high-return types of money. Most of them will fail in the long run because they're unable to discipline their double-or-nothing type of thinking. Subspecies of this genre is the merry rich, a man or woman who's going all in to a romantic relationship, usually with someone older and wealthier, in order to quickly climb the social and economic ladder. Number 13. I wrote that book rich. These are some of the funkiest people to be around. With authors, it's always hit or miss in terms of chemistry. Some are fun, some are weird, and almost all of them have a quirky way about them. They're not celebrity rich, but they do have their own loyal fan base who's always pressuring them for the new thing. In our experience, most of them live with a constant fear of imposter syndrome, thinking they'll never be able to top that one release that got them to where they are now. Because of the nature of their work, they often live a joyous life. Number 14. Crypto rich. Crypto rich is like the trader genre and poker rich mixed into a new breed of wealth. They believe money isn't real, governments are outdated, taxes are theft, and can't wait for their stash to be worth billions. Truth be told, most of them are right. They got rich in the past decade. Many of them bought into the Bitcoin phenomenon super early and held on to it until this day, only selling bits along the way to see the digits can be turned into real assets. The smarter bunch of them are in a bit more deep with crypto and have sprung a new age of technological entrepreneurship through ICOs. These groups of nobody understands exactly what they're doing are actively building the new infrastructure upon which the new technological era will be built on. In our experience, most of them are faking it. And before you spam us with questions on where to buy crypto for the millionth time, here's the link. Alux.com/crypto. We personally use Coinbase to buy our bitcoins and we haven't had an issue so far. Not sure if they're offering any perks for using our link, but it might be a good time to purchase before the halving happens on the 12th. Don't say we didn't tell you. Number 15. Motivational speaker rich. The last category is by far the least rich ones throughout our list. They made their fortunes selling the dream of becoming rich to others almost in a predatory sense. They promise a surefire way to make millions if you only joined their $10,000 seminar. They always sell a new system and jump on the latest trend to repackage the same model of worthless promises. They sell the idea of being wealthy. Even a certain rich father made his fortune from the selling of books and not in real estate as he preaches. Only after the book money came in could he then afford to practice what he preached, and he's not alone. This doesn't mean that what they present isn't valuable, but it's not everything. Our advice is if you're going to pay for knowledge, make sure you're getting a valuable skill developed out of it. Otherwise, you'll be left holding a beautiful package that's filled with brochures and confetti. Throughout your life, you'll definitely meet some of these types of individuals, and we're curious to know you better. Which types of rich people have you met in your life? And did you learn anything from them? We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. And for those sticking with us until the end, we have an extra category: the soon-to-be rich. These are the individuals who are taking all the correct steps toward becoming financially wealthy. Although they may not be there just yet, they have the discipline, the drive, and the focus to change that in the foreseeable future. These are people who right now are investing in their financial education. They read case studies, books, watch interviews, and educational videos on how others were able to achieve greatness and wealth. They're not just consumers. They don't just talk about what they wish for in life. Instead, they keep pushing forward every single day. They rely on fundamentals. They don't follow trends. They're not falling victims of the get-rich-quick mentality, and most of them have been able to dramatically improve their lives in the past few years. We believe you are one of these soon-to-be rich people. Who else would take the time every single Sunday to educate themselves on how wealth is built, how to live a fulfilling life, and watching this fairly long video until the end for a special golden nugget of information? We're blessed to have people like you making up our community, and we feel proud of how far we've come together. We see you every week in the comments, and although we don't always reply to every single one of you, we've learned your names, your avatars, and we're always excited when we see you coming back. For that, we want to thank you Aluxers. If you relate to this bonus part, please write the word "soon" in the comments. That way, we know our message reached all the right ears. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question on our website, Alux.com. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.